morning, everybody. It's Jackie. I am here for our Stretch and Restore class today. Today I am going to talk about foam rolling. I know you guys probably have seen people at the Y using foam rollers or after a race, and I just wanted to show you some really easy ways to foam roll the body. It's so important to aid in recovery, and it just helps you feel really good. I did a really hard workout a couple weeks ago, and I was so sore, and I just really haven't been actively foam rolling. Foam rolling is essential to kind of aid in the recovery of your fascia, and so it just keeps the body healthy. And it's not only for when you're sore, you should actually be preventative and be doing your foam rolling prior to your exercises and after, and it'll really help keep the body in great shape and make you feel really good. It's one of those exercises or one of those things that kind of hurts so good, but the more you do it, the better you'll feel, and it's just a wonderful thing. So, basic foam roller. There are different types of grades of foam rollers. This is a therapeutic grade. You can get these on Amazon. You can get them through some of the fitness suppliers. I like this therapeutic grade because it's a little bit harder. Some of the other ones you've probably seen maybe red or blue or white, and just you want a little bit of density with your foam roller. And I know you've probably seen some of those crazy ones with the knobs and things like that. Those are a little more advanced, so if you're new to foam rolling, I wouldn't grab one of the knobby ones, but try them. Order one, it's great. Another thing that I recommend to my clients often is a tiger tail. It actually kind of looks like a rolling pin. I don't have it here with me right now, but definitely look it up. It's called a tiger tail. Again, you can get it on Amazon, and it looks almost like a rolling pin, a little bit smaller in density than this, but it's a little bit more portable. So if you're a runner or your goal is to do a 5K, it's a great tool to keep with you. It's super light and portable, and after a race you can roll your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your IT band, shoulders, the whole 9 yards. Definitely look up other exercises or other foam rolling techniques, but today I'm just going to take you through a couple simple ones. One of the things with the foam rolling technique you want to do is you want to start from the ground up. So you want to start from the bottom of the body and then work your way towards the top. So we're going to start with that, and it works out great because my calves are a little bit sore. So we're going to start from the bottom up. So again, foam roller on the ground. If you struggle with wrist support, you can use some yoga blocks to kind of prop yourself up, but we are going to be using our body weight to kind of work out the fascia. So do what's comfortable for your wrists. So I'm going to have a seat. I'm going to start with my calves. So two options. I'm going to scoot back so you guys can see. You can cross one leg over to give you a little bit more resistance with the top leg. And you're just going to, two things. You can either rock side to side on the area that might be a little sensitive. What I like to do is start with both feet side by side, and then I'll just push my body forward and back, just rolling down the calf. I'm going to kind of flex my feet. So I start with 2 and then I go to 1. So what you're going to do is cross your foot over, and that adds again a little bit more pressure, and do the bottom calf. Just kind of breathe through it and back. And a good rule of thumb is about a minute on each muscle group. You're getting a little upper body workout. At least I am, trying to keep my tailbone off the ground. And then you want to switch, crossing over on the other side and doing the calves. If you're a runner or cyclist, really, really good. You want to go the whole length and even pause where it's a little bit tender. Awesome. And I'm not going to go through what I would normally go through if I was doing this myself, but I'm just going to kind of go through these exercises, and feel free to pause the Facebook feed and take a little bit more time. So calves, then we're going to start with hamstrings. Hamstrings tend to be super tight. So again, just like starting 2 and going to 1, I'm going to start with both my hamstrings. So I'm going to set my tailbone on the foam roller, leave both my legs out, and just roll back to about the knee joint. You don't want to roll over the joint. You want to stay in the muscle. Good. So you want to roll down the hammies, and then you can also do one hamstring, just a little light pressure from the opposite leg, rolling through your hamstring. You can also shift the foam roller a little bit more forward towards the leg that you're gonna roll, and then use your own body weight with the back supporting knee to roll out the hamstring. Yep, so hammies. Feels really good. All right, so then we're gonna move on to glutes. So you're gonna take your tailbone again, set it on the foam roller. You're gonna roll forward and then roll back. And the key with this is just tie your breath to your roll or your movement so you're going nice and slowly. And what it does is it kind of breaks up the adhesions on the fascia and kind of brings some oxygenated blood back to the fascia. So it helps aid in recovery and gets your body back to tip-top shape a little bit faster. So glutes. Then another thing I like to do is while I'm here is stretch a little bit. So I'll have a seat on my tailbone, cross one foot over, and then just slide my tailbone forward. It gives me a little bit of a deeper stretch. Last week I did a chair stretch, really good for using the range of motion. And this is really good, same thing. Gives you a little bit more range of motion by dipping your tailbone a little bit further down. And always make sure you do both sides. Perfect. And then we'll continue with our foam rolling, but I'm just going to show you a couple stretches while we're here. So sitting on the on your tailbone on the foam roller, this is again why you want a therapeutic grade, because it can hold your body weight a little bit better and it won't indent the foam roller. But a great way to stretch because it gives you a little bit of height for your hips. You can flex your forward foot and just stretch the hamstrings here as well. It's like almost like putting your foot on a chair. So stretching through the hamstrings and the whole posterior side of the body. And if your hamstrings are tight, like a lot of us, just bend your knee. It's okay. And then come on up and let's do the other side. Hamstring stretch. I like to flex my foot, pull my belly in as much as I can, and hinge forward from your hips. Another thing to kind of think of when you stretch is trying to have, it's a different camera angle, so it looks like my back's a little bit more round than it is, but my back's pretty flat, and then I'm hinging from my hips, and that puts a little bit more of a stretch on the back of the leg. Awesome, and then come on up. While we're here sitting on the foam roller, I'm gonna have you take your feet out to the side, and then just hinge forward. Again, my back is kind of flat, my abs are in, and this allows us to stretch our inner thighs, which work a lot with stabilization. Hinging again, forward from the hips, relaxing your shoulders. And you can add a little roll to this too. When you roll forward on the foam roller, it kind of deepens the stretch. And back, and forward, and back. Awesome. Good, so that's a little bit of stretch as we roll. So I'm gonna flip you over and starting on our hamstrings. So large muscle group, you can push the foam roller towards the back, starting with the back leg. So what you're gonna do is bring the front leg forward, kind of like you're kneeling, and then the back leg is going to go above the knee joint. And I'm gonna try and see if you guys can see. I'm gonna kind of go on an angle. So I'll move my front leg forward, but you're gonna put your muscle of your back leg on the foam roller. And then you can hold your body upright and roll down the quadricep. And you have a couple muscles in the front of your leg. So you wanna make sure you go down the front, go down the inner portion of your thigh, and on the outer edge too. And if you have any tender spots, you just wanna hold. Take a couple deep breaths. And then walk forward. Some people like to come down onto their forearms and roll all the way down. So again, I'm not gonna do this as long as I would. You wanna make sure you do both legs. So swapping the foam roller to the front leg, start down by the knee joint, but not on the knee joint, and roll forward either on your heel of your hands or on your forearms like I am. You can even go all the way up to your hip flexor, so that's bringing the foam roller towards the hip joint. So quads. All right, so here's the kicker. IT band. Tends to be tight for a lot of us, especially if you're a cyclist or a runner. This is the one that kind of hurts so good. So you're gonna roll from the hip edge all the way down to the outer edge of your knee. It might not be super comfortable at first, but it will get easier and it will really help your recovery. So you're gonna lie on your hip. You're gonna extend the bottom leg towards the back or the front, whatever feels comfortable for you, and you're gonna roll down your ITB. You're gonna have to move your arms and down. Ooh, that's a spot right there. Nice. So all the way down towards above the knee joint. I'm not gonna do it because I'll go out of the frame, but just rolling down the whole side. And you wanna make sure you do both sides. So flipping over, extending the bottom leg nice and straight. Yep, right there. And so many of my clients ask me how often you should foam roll. If you can, 3 times a week, especially on your strength days or even whenever you can. Even 10 minutes is awesome. I know you've seen a lot of people do it before and after their workout. I say to my clients sometimes, it's like combing your hair before you braid it. If your muscle fibers are all kind of crazy, it's hard to braid your hair. I know guys probably won't understand that analogy, but it's like getting the body prepped for your workout. So foam rolling beforehand lineates all those muscle fibers, and then foam rolling afterwards kind of breaks up those adhesions and keeps the fascia really healthy. So ITB, perfect. All right, so while we're kind of on our side, this is another one just like the ITB that's a little bit challenging, but your lats tends to get a little tight. And this is one you don't necessarily want to roll, or you can, but I'm gonna do range of motion. So just like when we sat down on our side, you're gonna find that underneath your armpit area, and you're just going to, and it just takes body pressure, because I can feel this right now. And you can just go range of motion if you want, or you can just do body weight pressure and just slowly kind of work that out. So that's lats. Just find where those areas of kind of tightness are and just hold and breathe. Doing the side of the body is very challenging. So you're gonna do that on both sides as well. I feel that kind of right through here. All right, so while we're here, do both sides. I'm gonna show you one of my favorites. So you're gonna put the foam roller vertical, and then you're gonna set your tailbone down on the edge of the foam roller, and you're gonna lie back. So you're gonna kind of use the foam roller as a guide to where to place your spine. So you're gonna lie down on the foam roller, feet are spread apart, your palms are up. And even this, just allowing the chest to stretch, is a great way to aid in recovery. Oftentimes, I know I say this a lot, but we're typing, we're driving, we're texting, so we tend to become a little round-shouldered. This is a great opportunity for our chest to open up and stretch. Great for breast cancer survivors. Then you can add a little bit of motion. You can bring your finger pads to your temple and your elbows are out to the side like a butterfly. You're gonna come up with your wings and go out. And the foam roller just allows us a little bit more depth to our stretch than if you were on the floor just doing this without the aid of the foam roller. So breathe through your stretches as always. Good. Another really good one for shoulder recovery is taking your arms on the foam roller out to a W, keeping your elbows off the floor, and you're gonna reach towards the wall behind you and then slide the hands down. They're kind of called snow angels if you're doing them on the wall. Again, great for stretching through the chest, great for shoulder mobility, and also great for breast cancer survivors. And you can hold it here and just feel the stretch across your shoulders. And down. Good. The whole time while you're on the foam roller, you're working your core. So feet down. Another one that I like for shoulder mobility is you're going to take your hands straight out from your armpits and your palms are facing towards your knees. You're going to take one arm up and then the palm down. So again, stretching through the shoulder and the lat a little bit, and then switch. Keeping your hands hovering off the floor, pulling your navel into your spine to help you balance. Good, so you kind of want to do these for about a minute, feeling the shoulder stretch. And if you struggle with shoulder mobility, even if you can go to here, you want to stay in your pain-free range, and your depth of your mobility will get a little bit better with time. Good. So that's kind of like swimming in a pool. Then the next one, again, starting like you're sleepwalking, we're going to bring our hands down to our knees and a big, big scoop around. You'll feel the stretch through the chest. Tying the belly into your stretch by pulling it in. So inhale as the arms come out, hover across the floor, palms up, and then go up towards the ceiling. So inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. So this is kind of like doing a breaststroke. And then after about a minute of those, we're going to switch directions. So backstroke. You're going to go behind your head, really feel the stretch. And it's okay, just like me, to bend your elbows if it feels super tight. The longer the lever, the more the resistance. So go where you need to go. So doing this backstroke a couple times. And one more. Good. And those feel so great. So continue to do those as long as you like. This is my favorite one. You're going to take your hands out to the side, palms up. And if you ever struggle with knots kind of underneath your scapula or your shoulder blades, what you want to do is do this forever. This is great. You're going to use your own body to kind of work out those kinks, rolling side to side. It's not good if you have your hair down because it gets caught under the foam roller, but you're going to rock side to side. And your shoulder blades kind of hug the foam roller, and it just feels so good. Nice job. So just be careful if you've been on your back for a while on the foam roller. I suggest just rolling to the front and then just coming up slowly. A couple other things you can do with a foam roller. You can put it on the wall behind you and again use your own body weight to work out those kinks. Foam rolling or self-myofascial release is a great way to aid and recover. If you have any questions or any specific body parts or areas that you struggle with, just put a comment in the chat and or a comment on Facebook, and we will definitely be able to address those, and I'll send you some more foam rolling exercises. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you next week. Take care.